A very good afternoon. It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to be here to participate in the e-governance conference 2019 this year. And not only is my first time attending such conference, but it would have to be the first time for an official Brunei delegation to visit this beautiful city of Tallinn, Estonia. Now, let me take this opportunity to thank the Estonian government, first of all, particularly Dr. Abdul, I don't know whether he's here, Executive Director of EGA, who for the first time have kindly invited me and my delegation to attend this conference this year. Now, we have traveled a long way to Estonia, almost about 20 hours of travel time, from our capital city, Bandar Seri Begawan, to Tallinn. But after being here for the last 3 days, listening to policymakers, ministers, technologists, economists, and of course, Lisa is one of them, futurists, I think it's certainly a worthy visit after all. Before I share some of my observations and takeaways from the conference, let me first share a little bit of background of our country, Brunei Darussalam. We are a very small country with a population of slightly more than the city of Tallinn itself, of just about 430,000. Situated in the heart of Southeast Asia, between parts of Malaysia in the west and some parts of Indonesia to the east. Now, Brunei has been an oil and gas economy since 1929, when we first discovered our oil back then, where this sector represents about 60% contribution to its annual GDP. And since the last decade, the government has taken initiatives to diversify to non-oil and gas sector. Today, the ICT GDP contribution is still very small, of about 2%, but Brunei has one of the highest mobile broadband penetration of almost 130% and 94% penetration for active social media users, including users of FB, IG, Twitters, amongst others, in the Southeast Asia region. But we still have a lot to catch up in terms of e-government and online public services. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital economy has now taken center stage around the world. With the digital economy at our doorstep, it is important that we are equipped with the right developmental efforts in order to embrace the changes before us. This is one of the reasons we are probably here today, to find a way to manage all this and to learn from all the different models of digital transformation, roadmaps, and the use of e-governance solutions in a meaningful and future-proof way. I would like now to share some of my observations and takeaways from the conference. Firstly, the digital transformation of a country is now no longer just an option. Rather, it has now become a much-needed necessity when it comes to improving a country's competitiveness and attractiveness to foreign investors. There is definitely a return on their investment spent and a definite correlation between the growth of a country's economy and the development of its ICT sector. And we have learned this in yesterday's session under e-Estonia track, where we learned that Estonians save 2% of GDP by using their digital ID. And secondly, interrelations between both coverage and access. The more digital access is made affordable, the larger the coverage has become. Thirdly, different countries have different areas of priorities. Therefore, the digital transformation roadmap needs to be made locally relevant and responsive to our unique developmental needs. Fourthly, planning and implementing digital transformation initiatives is not a straightforward process, as it involves cross-cutting issues, which calls for much closer collaboration among different stakeholders, i.e. government, private sectors, telecom providers, telcos, and the solution providers. Fifth, leadership will play an important role in the successful implementation of digital transformation. And the next point, creative financing models, which aims to be self-sustainable and less dependent on the government as a source of funds. We have learned that options such as PPP models should be actively sought after. Then there is a point on the need for human resources skills and upskilling to be available to ensure that all the different requirements are adequately addressed. We've heard from the ministers this morning in the panel discussion amongst one of the anticipation of fourth industrial revolution is the issue of upscaling for capacity building of resources. And therefore, investing in smart people, not only smart technology, is absolutely essential. Regulations governing data are required, and this is what we learned yesterday and today. And lastly, importance of cross-border cooperation in e-governance. The list goes on, and what I have just shared are just some of my perspectives. The past 2 days of the conference have been very insightful and enriching. It is indeed very inspiring to have heard and be part of so many good discussions by remarkable speakers, panelists, and I must congratulate also my fellow ministers in this morning's panel discussion, where each was particularly no less than remarkable, sharing their respective unique experiences and challenges in moving forward their national digital transformation agenda. For us in Brunei Darussalam, we definitely have gained a lot from these sessions. It was very insightful and truly relevant to what we are trying to do back home in Brunei. In fact, on a quick note, recently this year, we just formed a National Digital Economy Council, which oversees and provides strategic leadership on the growth of digital economy in Brunei Darussalam. The Council has identified 5 priority areas, namely, 1, digital payment, number 2, accessibility and capacity, number 3, digital data governance, fourthly, cloud policy, and 5th, improvement and enhancing e-government services. A key component to enable the strategic priorities is cybersecurity. Brunei Darussalam is now in the process of setting up a national cybersecurity agency, amongst others. This conference provides opportunities to learn from those who have progressed well in their cybersecurity initiatives and perform well in the international rankings. And for this purpose, we're looking closely at the e-Estonian model. With that, we look forward to future opportunities for potential cooperation and collaboration with not only Estonia, but with those other countries as well as partners in the areas of ICT and digital transformation. Thank you very much.